So really under 5K, the only really point guard I truly would want would be Corey Joseph, and he's 4.4K. So obviously Lowry's out. Lock and load Corey Joseph. Other than that, I don't need Brogdon. He's not getting enough minutes for me these days. And there's really no one else under the 5K mark that I want as a point guard. Shooting guard, James Harden, 12.1K. The problem on this slate, if Lowry's out, I want DeMar DeRozan in cash games. So can I afford to play DeMar and Harden in my cash games? That would mean I need to play like 3 or 4 bums to fill up the rest of my lineup. And I'd be spending a ton of money on my 2 shooting guards for cash games. So if Lowry's out, I'll probably play DeMar and look elsewhere. But Harden obviously is always an elite play. Indiana, Houston, that 230 over-under. You can't go wrong having exposure to that game. Harden has 60, 70, 80 FanDuel point upside. With that said, he's looked pretty bad the last 2 games. Am I truly nervous about it, though? Not really. Giannis is 10.9K. He's looked a little better after the All-Star break, a little bit more refreshed. So I have a little bit of interest there. I still would not touch Giannis in cash at 10.9K. If LeBron's out, I do think the Bucks have a better chance of keeping that game close. But Giannis is going to be a tournament-only play for me. Deion Waiters, I'm not paying 7.2K for that buster against Dallas. Also, even though, yes, he has been playing great, but also he's going to get Wes Matthews defense. You know, I talked about Isaiah Thomas and Dennis Schroeder, horrendous defense. Wes Matthews, other end of the spectrum, his defense is phenomenal. So he should be able to limit Deion Waiters, and I don't want really much exposure at all to that Miami Dallas game, especially on the Miami side. Lou Williams is 6.3K. I find that revolting, disgusting. Even though he has been really good in his first 2 games at Houston, he's just not going to get enough minutes to really give you upside at 6.3K. If he was Eric Gordon's price, which we'll get to in a second, then maybe, but not at 6.3K. No, thank you. Marcus Smart, if Avery Bradley is out, I don't mind Marcus Smart against Atlanta guards. If Avery Bradley's back in, that hell no to Marcus Smart. The one thing I'll note is last game I watched Cephalosha from Atlanta shut down Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier took a crap in his pants. He was mortified to play against Cephalosha. So I'm curious to see from Atlanta who guards, who they have Cephalosha guard from on the Celtics. Do they have Cephalosha guard Isaiah Thomas? If they do, I mean, Isaiah is too quick for Cephalosha, but Cephalosha's linked. It might be able to give Isaiah a little trouble. So now, granted, I do not think Cephalosha will be guarding Marcus Smart either way. But it is something to keep note of. Check the news on Monday and see who Cephalosha is going to be guarding for Atlanta because he is a good defender. But Marcus Smart only if Avery Bradley's out, and even then, a little bit. He's fine. Seth Curry, he's been tremendous last couple of games. All the minutes in the world, all the shots in the world, over 30 FanDuel points. So if there's a guy for Dallas that I'll play, it probably would be him. Tyreek Evans, just too expensive. At 6K, he's going to play 24 to 26 minutes. Think about it. At that, is he? Can you envision him being in the winning GPP lineup? At that price, I just can't. If he was going to get 32, 34 minutes, then yeah, of course he could for Sacramento. But it's just not enough minutes. So if you want to use him in like a cash game, I guess you can do it. But I just don't think it's enough minutes right now in Sacramento. Wesley Matthews, 5.5K. If you want to pivot off of Curry and go Wes Matthews, it's okay. But the usage rate lately has been really down low. Especially, Barnes is a better option on offense. Nowitzki, then Seth Curry. Wes Matthews is maybe their 4th best option these days. Tim Hardaway Jr. Tournaments only. Cephalosha is back. So, of course, Tim Hardaway Jr., as my phone just slams down and falls off the desk. So, Tim Hardaway Jr. has suffered the last couple games with Cephalosha's return. So has Kent Bazemore. With that said, Tim Hardaway Jr., I always will lock and load in a couple tournaments. So, if I have like 10 lineups, maybe I'd play in 2 tournaments. But not a good matchup for him because he's going to get either Marcus Smart or Avery Bradley defense. But for tournaments, of course. Eric Gordon. Look, if I'm going to play Lou Williams or Eric Gordon, they're basically the same exact player. They're going to play like same exact minutes, except actually Eric Gordon's going to get more minutes. Eric Gordon will get close to 28 to 30 minutes, and they're going to get pretty similar shots. So I can play Eric Gordon and save $1,000. So give me Eric Gordon over Lou Williams any day of the week, and I like the Eric Gordon play because I want exposure to this Indiana Houston game. Monte Ellis, again, another cheap way to get exposure to Indiana Houston. And Monte Ellis has taken some steroids, and he's looked somewhat relevant and a lot better than the last couple of weeks. So I don't mind the Monte Ellis play. Other than that, under 5K, Buddy Hield. I think Buddy Hield's safe for all formats. Now, if you don't want to use him in cash, I get it, but he's cheap. He's 4.6K. So even if he only gives you 15, 18 FanDuel points, that's not going to kill your lineups. And he could give you maybe close to 30 FanDuel points, I think, is a ceiling. So I don't mind that play. And I do think eventually Sacramento's they're gonna unleash him and give him 30-plus minutes. Is that going to happen Monday? I don't know. Other than that, you got guys like Stauskas and Holiday. And that's about it. Shumpert down there, shooting guard. All right, small forward. So remember, LeBron just checked the injury news. Andrew Wiggins, 8.6K. Melo's 8.2K. Both those guys, pretty similar. Both one-trick ponies. Wiggins has played phenomenal since Zach LaVine has been out. But, last game, 30 actual points, 35 FanDuel points. Now at his price, he's got to be giving us, 45 FanDuel points to feel good about it. Can he do that? Sure. But if Porzingis is going to be out, then to me, Melo and Wiggins are pretty close on this slate. So then I would look to usage rate, and I would look to something like pace. Melo's has a higher usage rate without Porzingis, and he's going to be playing a faster paced game against Toronto, whereas Wiggins gets Sacramento. So I guess for a tournament, I probably would prefer Carmelo to Wiggins in this slate. Although Wiggins has been playing phenomenal, like both those guys. Paul George, 7.8K. He's a man of mystery to me. He's a tin man. I don't get it. I'm just constantly perplexed watching him play. Stand in a corner and do nothing. Last game, I think he got 10 FanDuel points, 8 FanDuel points, something ridiculous. With that said, it's at Houston, 230 over under. I love playing guys who have killed you all year long, who have because of recency bias. And would I play him in cash games? Hell no. But would I load up on him in tournaments? Maybe load up is the wrong term, but will I play a decent amount of him in tournaments? Of course I will. He still has upside. Lord Covington. So the price is scary now. It's 7.1K, and that's expensive. That's no joke. But if you're watching Philadelphia play, since they traded Ersan, Covington and Saric, they do so much on the court, and Covington is everywhere on both ends of the court. So if Philly can keep this game close against Golden State, it's gonna be because Covington has a really good game, and guys like Saric have a good game, and probably even the bum Okafor as well. So would I feel safe about using Covington in cash games? Nah, I'm on the fence on that one, but an elite tournament play. And the best part about him is the minutes. He's got 39 minutes the last 2 games. He's playing the 3, and he also can play the backup 4 as well. He's really versatile on the court. So, over 40 FanDuel points the last. Still has upside at that price. Right now, I'm not going to use him in cash, but man, I really do love that play. Harrison Barnes, nothing sexy, but super safe. Same with Jay Crowder. They're similar in price, right around that 6K range. Both those guys are very fine for cash games. I like Crowder more, obviously, if Avery Bradley is out. Ariza, I always team up. I have one Harden in Ariza lineup because every three that Ariza makes is going to be due to an assist by Harden. Then you got under 5K. You got some bums. PJ Tucker, I've already did my rant on him. You got the Bazemore, while Cephalosha has destroyed his value. But tournaments, you still can do it. CJ Miles, very intriguing play here at 4.1K. And yes, you also can Google CJ Miles as well. If he gets the start, even if he doesn't, at that price, he's probably going to get 24 minutes. So in that high over-under game, that intrigues me. Also, Jaylen Brown's 3.6K. If he starts and if Avery Bradley is out, that's a nice punt. He can get you 20 FanDuel points at that price. All right, power forward. Paul Millsap. Millsap has really struggled lately. If you're watching the Atlanta Hawks Celtics games, or Celtics, they're playing the Celtics. But if you're watching at the Atlanta games the last, week or so, and before the All-Star break, quite honestly, too, Millsap will go a quarter and a half without touching the ball. It can be infuriating. I watch the games. I scream at the TV. Not even a scream. I say, Paul's open, Paul's open, Paul's open, Paul's open, because they never pass him the ball. Like Schroeder never passes him the ball. Hardaway Jr. doesn't pass to anyone. I don't even know who else even scores for Atlanta. I don't even know. But all I know is Millsap his usage rate is like hovering in the low 20s. It's painful. But the prices come down. Great matchup. Boston you can attack Boston bigs. They have no one to defend Millsap. So you can't do it in cash games, but for tournaments, he's in a really good spot. Saric, same as I said for Covington. Right now, Philly, especially without Embiid, it's the Covington and Saric show. So even though Saric's price has skyrocketed up to $7K, I don't mind it. And I don't mind teaming up Saric and Covington in the same lineup. Like I said, if that game stays close, those two both can give you 40, 45 FanDuel points. But that's 7-8 times their salary still. Or maybe it's not that much. I guess it'd be, what, six times their salary, 6-7 times their salary. So even though he's expensive now, he still has upside. So yeah, would I do it in cash? Same approach that I have for Covington. Probably, I probably will stay away in cash games as of now and use them only in single entry in tournaments. Dirk just doesn't have enough upside for me to play. So again, the cash game's okay, but not a tournament play. Ibaka, if Lowry's out, yeah, Ibaka's in another really good spot. He's got the Knicks, and why can't he give me at least 30 to 40 FanDuel points against the Knicks? The Knicks are atrocious defending bigs. So, and especially if Porzingis is a sneaky good defender. So if Porzingis is out, last game they started. I don't even remember who the Knicks started. I think they started with Lance Thomas and Hernan Gomez at the 4 and 5. So Ibaka should be a nice safe play with some upside if Lowry's out. If Lowry plays, I don't know if Ibaka has the upside to really use him in a tournament. My sneaky ninja of the day is probably going to be Nerlens Noel, 5.9K. Dallas needs him to defend Whiteside on Monday. They also need him to cover Dirk because Dallas has been playing Dirk a lot at the 5. Like, that can't happen. Dirk can't defend anyone anymore. So Nerlens, to me, he played 30 minutes in Dallas's first game. He didn't even start. He's going to get at least 30 minutes. Probably 35 to 40, and all the rebounds in the world. And he's going to get some easy putback dunks and some. He's good in the pick and roll. So to me, fair price with some upside, and he'll be low owned. I like Nerlens Noel a lot. Michael Beasley, 5.5K. Sign me up. With Hilton out, resting, Beasley should be safe for all formats. Now, I know it's Beasley, so a lot of us don't trust him for cash. And if you don't, so I get it. If you don't want to use him for cash, that's fine. But could he be in the winning GPP lineup on Monday? Absolutely. So I'm going to have a lot of Beasley. Then you got Channing Frye, Thaddeus Young. They're okay. Thaddeus Young in that up and down game, I'll have exposure to for sure. Willie Cauley-Stein, I like him because he's coming off of a bad game, and he does have upside. He only had 12 FanDuel points last game. So in 2 games without Cousins, it's been 12 and 40. That's a big range. What does that scream? Doesn't scream cash game. It screams tournament play. So tournaments, absolutely. Also, from Minnesota, he's too athletic for Gorgie Dang. And Towns, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's going to be guarding him. I'm not sure if I guess it would be Towns. I guess it would be Towns who would be guarding Willie Cauley-Stein, and Towns is a horrendous defender. Willie Cauley-Stein isn't a good spot to me. Probably tournaments only, but he does have upside. Ryan Anderson, they're giving us Ryan Anderson for free, so let's just take advantage. I think at his price of 4.8K, safe for all formats. Even if he puts up a dud and shoots like 3 for 12, which he's easily capable of doing, he's still probably going to get you like 15, 16 FanDuel points. And that's not going to kill your lineup. And if he's making his shots, he's going to get you, 30, 35 FanDuel points. Now, yes, for some bizarre reason, if you look at his splits, he's a much better shooter on the road. On Monday, he plays at home. Is that going to dissuade me from playing him? No, it will not. I don't know why he can't shoot at home, but he's going to make shots one of these days. So he's okay for cash. I think a really good tournament play. Other than that, under 5K, Richaun Holmes is intriguing to me. Everyone loved him last game because he was coming off like a 39 FanDuel point night, but he only scored 39 FanDuel points because Okafor got in foul trouble. Okafor did not get in foul trouble last game, and Holmes then gave you 16 minutes and 16 FanDuel points. There's good news and bad news. The good news is he's about a fantasy point per minute guy. The bad news is Coach Brown doesn't give him a lot of minutes some days. In real life, he actually is a better player than Okafor. So Coach Brown should be giving him more minutes. But because of there's just volatility in the minutes, you can't use him in cash games, I don't think. At least I don't think you'd want to. And I'm not sure what the upside is. It all depends on Coach Brown. So let's all DM Coach Brown together and see how many minutes he's gonna give Holmes. I will play Holmes a little bit in some tournaments because, again, this Golden State Philly game, let's say it is a blowout. Who's going to get minutes? Holmes. So and let's say it stays close. Maybe Okafor gets in foul trouble. Maybe Coach Brown gives him minutes. So either way, you're kind of covered here with Holmes, and I think it's intriguing. So if I have 10 lineups, I could see Holmes being in like 2 or 3 of them, quite honestly. All right, center. Towns is 10.6K. I just don't have the salary to play him in cash games. I do think he has a really good matchup against Carl Anthony against Willie Cauley-Stein. So yeah, he should be fine. He's been tremendous as of late. He destroyed Houston's last game out. So that somewhat worries me that his ownership is going to be a little bit high due to recency bias. But you can't go wrong playing Towns these days. Whiteside, if this is a week ago, I'd be pretty intrigued by this play because Dallas can't rebound, or they couldn't rebound. Now they have Noel. That's a much better defender. So Whiteside's going to have a somewhat of a difficult matchup here, and he's expensive. So I wouldn't do it in cash games. Tournaments, it's okay. Dwight Howard, to me, this is safe for all formats. Atlanta at Boston. So, man, I've made a living attacking Boston bigs. Dwight Howard's too cheap. Even if he only plays like 30 minutes, how could he not give me 30, 35 FanDuel points? So, normally these days he's only a cash game play because he doesn't have monster upside. But occasionally he flashes it, and if he's going to do it, it would be against a team like Boston, where you have someone like Al Horford trying to defend him, who stands by the 35 feet away from the hoop. So I think Dwight's in a position to put up some big numbers. The one caveat, I just mentioned Horford standing 35, 40 feet away from the hoop. That also brings Dwight away from the hoop. So maybe some of those rebounds that Dwight would normally get, they go to someone like Millsap, which makes Millsap a little more intriguing as well. So yeah, I'm gonna have to think a little bit more about Howard. Although either way, Howard to me, I'm gonna have some exposure, but it does worry me because every time you watch the Celtics play, I mean, Horford gets farther and farther away from the hoop. I'm telling you, one time you're gonna be watching that game, he's gonna be standing like 30, like 55. He's gonna be at half court. It's something to see. It does space the floor for Isaiah. That's about all it does. Miles Turner, 6.5K. Man, do I love this play for tournaments. Quite honestly, even for cash, I think this might be okay. Normally, Turner is not a cash game play. He's played pretty well, though, since the All-Star break. And now he gets Houston. I went all in on Towns against Houston because Houston has this, the Harrell, Clint Capella, Nene threesome at center, who they're all deficient in certain areas. And Turner is similar to Towns in some way. Now, obviously, he doesn't have the same skills in terms of a post-up game, but he can take the ball on the perimeter. He's super athletic, can get up and down in a fast-paced game. He also can bury like a 15 to 17-foot jumper. So to me, Turner can abuse these Houston guys. This is a really good spot for him. He could put up a 40, 45 FanDuel point night. Man, I will have a lot of exposure to Turner. After that, Trisket, I mentioned Horford. I mean, Horford's so cheap now, 6.1K. But the problem is, man, he just doesn't do anything these days. They're not using him offensively. He doesn't get rebounds because he's so far away from the hoop. He's not even initiating much offense lately. So, I mean, I think one day Horford's going to have a big game. I just don't know when. And right now, you can't trust it. Hernangomez, 5.9K. Safe for all formats. He's a fantasy point per minute monster. I like Hernangomez and O'Quinn on this slate. I'm not sure what the prices are on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I like both of them. On DraftKings, if the prices are reasonable, I could play them both in the same lineup maybe. Okafor, his price is jacked up to 5.7K. He had 141 FanDuel point night, and then FanDuel jacked his price up. It's only, and if that game stays close, he did look good in his last game. That's probably the best I've seen him play in his career. He was he destroyed the Knicks, but You heard what I just said, right? He destroyed the Knicks. Everyone destroys the Knicks centers. So, can he take advantage of Golden State? Golden State, they can't rebound. So, on paper, if somehow Philly keeps that game close, could you do like a Saric, Covington, Okafor lineup? I guess, but out of those three, Okafor is by far my least favorite of the Saric, Covington, Okafor. He's my least favorite of the three. Valanciunas, Casey's just not giving him enough minutes these days because he's playing Ibaka at the 5 now, so that's super frustrating. Clint Capella, Kyle O'Quinn. Yeah, I really do like Kyle O'Quinn, even if he doesn't start. I mean, last game he played 25 minutes and he had 35 FanDuel points. I mean, both Hernangomez and O'Quinn, they're just fantasy point per minute monsters. O'Quinn's been that way his whole career. So, save for all formats. O'Quinn, maybe in O'Quinn you don't want to use O'Quinn for cash games, but tournaments, absolutely. He's a monster upside. And lastly, no, I guess Zaza's back now, so you can't use JaVale McGee, and I wouldn't use Zaza either. And that's about it. All right, that's it. That's the slate. We got through it. The Judge needs to go to bed. It is super freaking late. I'm exhausted. If you have any questions, tweet at me at DanielAGreen1. Otherwise, if you guys are very nice, maybe around 5, 6 p.m. Eastern time, I will release an audio version, a quick little 5-10 minute clip of giving you my top plays based on all the injury news and whatever shakes down on Monday. Other than that, for me and the bailiff, court is adjourned.